Welcome to the Darren Fletcher era. Same old chaos, same old Manchester United. Any hopes of a new dawn under the interim boss were shattered in spectacular fashion as Manchester United flung away a golden opportunity to secure 3 vital points, slumping to an unforgivable 2-2 draw against relegation-threatened Burnley at Old Trafford. This wasn't just a missed opportunity. This was a disgrace, an insult to the badge, and a damning indictment of a club that continues to stagger from one disaster to the next. Against a Burnley side that hadn't won away from home since dinosaurs roamed the earth, Manchester United imploded again, this time under the watch of a former club legend trying to keep the ship afloat. It took just 13 minutes for United to embarrass themselves. Bashir Humphries whipped in a harmless cross into the box, but Ayden Heaven, under no real pressure, inexplicably turned the ball into his own net with the grace of a man wearing clown shoes. You couldn't make it up. 1-0 Burnley, and Old Trafford was stunned into silence. What followed was textbook United 2023-24, confused, disjointed, and utterly directionless. The defense looked like it had been assembled in the parking lot 5 minutes before kickoff. The midfield disappeared. The attack? Non-existent. But somehow, against the run of play, United found a glimmer of hope. Benjamin Sesko, one of the few players on the pitch who looked like he gave a damn, seized control. His first goal came like a thunderbolt, a clinical finish that punished Burnley's only real defensive lapse. Momentum shifted, and within minutes, Sesko struck again with a towering header that sent the Stretford end into raptures. 2-1, finally. United were ahead. The crowd roared, fists pumped, and it felt, albeit briefly, like the Red Devils had remembered who they were. But then, in true United fashion, they utterly bottled it. Burnley, written off by every analyst and fan alike, weren't done. In the 66th minute, substitute Jadon Anthony delivered a moment of magic that United's overpaid stars could only dream of. With no pressure on him whatsoever, he curled an unstoppable strike into the top corner, freezing Andre Onana to the spot and silencing the theater of dreams. It was a world-class goal, but once again, United had allowed a player to waltz through midfield unchallenged. No grit, no urgency, no fight, just statues in red shirts watching the game like stunned spectators. For Darren Fletcher, this was baptism by fire. The former midfield warrior was handed the reins in what was billed as a fresh start after Erik ten Hag's chaotic tenure spiraled out of control. But on the evidence of this shambles, Fletcher is inheriting a fractured dressing room full of fragile minds and players with the spine of a jellyfish. Where was the leadership? Where was the tactical identity? Where was the desire? Fletcher might have been on the touchline, but this performance screamed of a club still hopelessly lost in the fog of its own mediocrity. Let's be blunt, Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs on the planet, are now 7th in the Premier League. 7th. Behind Aston Villa. Behind Tottenham. Behind teams with a fraction of their budget and none of their history. Burnley, meanwhile, remain 19th, but they'll leave Old Trafford feeling like kings. And why shouldn't they? They came to the supposed theater of dreams and made it their playground. This isn't about one manager. It's not about one bad game. This is about systemic failure, a club rotting from the inside out. From the boardroom to the bench, Manchester United are an institution in freefall. Until radical changes are made, in recruitment, structure, and mentality, these results will keep happening. You can change the manager, but if the players continue to play without pride, without accountability, and without purpose, there's only one direction this club is going: down. This draw isn't a blip. It's the latest chapter in a horror story that's become all too familiar. And unless this club wakes up, it won't be long before draws with Burnley become the new benchmark.